everybody, my name is Andrea Gomoll from Creative Creations. Welcome to my channel and to part 2 of working with my Build a Whimsical Christmas Girl stamp set. In the first part I shared some tips on how to use the stamps, how to combine the different elements, the face and the different accessories and the different hats, how to kind of build your cute little personalized winter and Christmas girls by adding some hair, and how to very easily color them. And now in the second part, just because the first video would have been like way too long, it already was like I think 50 minutes or something. So since I always try to keep my videos at about 20-25 minutes, sometimes it just doesn't work, and especially if I talk too much like right now. Okay, so keep it short. Focus, Andrea, focus. Yeah, so we have those 3 cuties here ready, stamped and colored, and now in the second part I will just share with you how I will create 3 Christmas cards with those. I'm not even sure if I will create some cards or maybe tags. I'll just make up my mind. You will see what I will turn those into and what I will create with them. But I think I will go for some cards because I will need some Christmas cards anyway, so I can already like check 3 off my list with making those cards. Yeah, I think without further ado, let's jump right in. Again, I'm not sure what I will do, what supplies I will use, so I will just talk to you as I go, maybe add a voiceover. Again, if you like those cute little stamps, which you probably can't even see right now because of the really bad light here. You can grab those on my website, in my shop, or in my Etsy shop. It depends on where you prefer to order. Put the link, I will put the link in the info box below the video and somewhere around here. And yeah, I think without further ado, we will jump right in, get started, and see what we will create using those 3 cute little girls. Okay, so first of all, I did cut out those 3 cute little girls here. The Rainy Girl, the Christmas Elf, and the Santa Girl. I'm gonna put those aside. And then I grabbed some cardstock. In this case, it is just heavyweight watercolor paper. Trimmed that into a card size. So I have the base for the cards here. Next thing, I also did cut some other pieces of watercolor paper here, which will go on the card, and I will just trim that to size as well, more or less. Usually I'm not so much about measuring. If you know me, you know that. I'm not good with measuring, so let's maybe focus on one first. So maybe let's start with that little cutie here. So I will use some watercolors in the background here that kind of match the color scheme of the little girl. Just get this slightly wet with some clear water, and then I will just dab some of the color in. Again, right now I don't have like, I have a basic idea of where I want to go with this, but we'll see. Actually, all I know right now is that I want to kind of stick to that watercolor look a little. Maybe incorporate a little bit of some pattern paper. So that's the plan. And of course you could do this background with, I don't know, with ink pads, distress inks, distress oxides, all different sorts of water-based media or ink-based media. So, darkness. Kind of really like the mix of lights and darks in watercolor. Oh, just about like that. And I think a little bit of glimmer, so a little bit of a pearlescent effect would be fun. So just grabbing my twinkling H2Os here, and oh, let's see, this looks good. This is actually these silks, which is acrylic based. However, I have them for so long now that they are already like dried up, but you can reactivate them with some water. And this is a twinkling H2O, which is water based. So let me just pop some water in. So with those acrylic based silks, you will see you don't get the full coverage as with the way they used to be, but they're still good. So still give you a little bit of that glimmer and of that. Actually, they give you pretty much of a watercolor look now, so no need to throw them away. You'll just get a little bit of a different result compared to the way they used to be when they were still like fresh and juicy. I think I own those for, oh my, I don't know, over 10 years actually. I remember still working with those in the old apartment where we used to live, so it really must be over 10 years. And I rarely use them. Actually, I just rediscovered them while reorganizing my studio, and I thought, oh, why not use them every now and then, right? I really love that tone in here. Make sure this is still matchy. Yeah, love it. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry. Maybe just drop some clear water in to get a little bit of this icy blooming effect. You could, of course, like sprinkle some salt on it to get this effect. Also gonna lift a little bit back off in some areas just because I want a little bit more white just in some areas. So that's kind of the fun of watercolor, that you can really have some fun and go to town with it until you are happy with the way it looks. And while this dries, let's just work on number 2 here. Cute little Santa girl, again grabbing a card, grabbing a piece of paper to go on top of it. Maybe this time I will do it slightly different, just to have a little bit of a variation going on, so that it's not like 100% the exact same thing. So I'm gonna let this dry as well, so a little bit more of an abstract background here for card number 2. And let's move on to number 3 with this cute little elf girl. And for this one I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of layering here with the little boxes, or just get those colored. since again I have no fixed idea of where I'm going with those, so I embossed a piece of watercolor paper here with a snowflake stencil, embossing folder, not stencil. So what I will try, I will just see how I like it. So I'll just dab a little bit of the distress oxides here, like that, and then spray it, spritz it with some water, like that. And I think I kind of want this to come in like from the side and maybe from the other side as well, like this. Oh yeah, I really love that. So I'm gonna put this this aside as well. So made another one, just with some teeny tiny dots. Really love this one because it's very supple, the design. It almost looks like tiny snowflakes. Yeah, so let's see. Like this, I really love it. That's pretty cute. I'm not sure which ones I'll be using for the cards in the end. However, what I do know is that I can still use the other backgrounds for other projects. So let's continue with the first one. I decided for this one I want to go with this background because I really love how it turned out. The girl, and this one that I prepared, I think I will die cut some snowflakes out of this because I still want to use this blue in here. So this could be really fun. And first of all, I kind of want to layer this on top of another color because for cards, for me, it kind of is all about layering to give them like value, so that they don't feel so like floppy. And what I love to do, if you mat something upon something, maybe it's just me, but I always kind of feel bad like matting something on a solid piece of cardstock. If you only see like a teeny tiny border, then I kind of feel sorry for the rest of the cardstock behind it. So what I like to do is, if I have pieces like this, leftover pieces, I usually keep them, don't throw them away, because you can still use this for some layerings, for some, my gosh, I can't talk today, for some matting the photos, do we say that? I think so. For some layering, like different layers on top of each other. So what I will do here, for example, is I will use this piece. So I'll just trim this really quick. The sides that I just hand cut. Zip and zip. Let me just check. That looks good. Looks good. Okay. So this way you can still use those pieces of cardstock for some matting, layering without like using up a whole piece of cardstock. Right in the beginning, when I started to craft, to paper craft, the first pieces of pattern paper and cardstock that I bought, because back then, I mean, that's like, I don't know, it was like around 1998. I think that's when I started scrapbooking. And I spent a lot of money on those very expensive, back then they were very expensive Creative Memories cardstocks. Creative Memories, was it called? I think so, yeah. Anyways, I even like did cut inside so that I could still use this piece of cardstock inside, so that I only have this fake layered frame. Okay, so I've been die cutting some snowflakes out of this blue watercolor paper, and in addition some snowflakes out of like iridescent paper. Not sure if the camera catches that. So that's what I prepared. So those are the die cuts. They are by, I think by Crafter's Companion, if I'm right. So now let's assemble this. And I thought maybe about adding a tiny piece of an old book page here. But not sure yet. I'll just take a look and see how I like it. And how the contrast between the snowflakes. I think I like it. So what I will do is I will just kind of assemble this, and then I will also add a little bit of baker's twine. I think the silver one maybe look really good, just rubbing this around, so that's what I will do. So then I'm gonna go in with my Nouveau glitter drops, and I'm just gonna add like a tiny glitter drop right here to the center of the snowflakes. Like that. I'm also going to add a couple of those light blue translucent jewel drops just to the background. I really like to have a little bit of a variation in the size of the drops. That really depends. It also depends if you want to apply them directly to your project. Of course, then you kind of have to put your project aside to dry for a while, because you really want to allow the drops to like dry in this like domed shape as they're supposed to. But you could of course just make those tiny like animal dots just on a sheet of plastic wrap or whatever, and then just lift them off once they're dry and use them with glue similar to normal animal drops. However, I really like to just go with it and apply it directly to the project. Yeah, so I think we're gonna put this aside to dry. I really like how it turned out. Really cute. Love all the 3D going on here, and the snowflakes kind of bending upwards at the edges. I will do this a little more once everything is dry, then I can still like bend those teeny tiny snowflake edges up a little more. It really adds dimension here. And yeah, so number 1, still 2 to go, so let's move on. Okay, so getting started with the second card in a similar way. Just grabbing a piece of cardstock here for some layering. And I'm gonna just layer the different elements on top of each other. So I decided that I think maybe I want to add 2 of those cute little like trees here in the background, and I think this could maybe use a little bit of green. So what I will do, I don't want like a green, solid green cardstock, so I will just use a piece of leftover watercolor paper and add a little bit of green here to that piece. And then I can go ahead and die cut that. Okay, so here we are with those cute little trees. I think I'm going to give them a tiny bit of an edge distressing here, if I can find my tool. So just a tiny bit to kind of help the tree to pop off the background a little more, a little better. Just one like that. Just gonna adhere those. So then I'm just adding a tiny bit of glitter texture paste here to this one. Okay, so this is dry. What I did is I printed out a little sentiment: may the magic of Christmas fill each corner of your home and heart. Just printed that out. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to ink the edges really quick. And then just add this to my card like this. Okay, so last but not least, again some Nuvo drops, and I think I will go with red crystal drops this time, because I already have like those glitter texture paste here in the background. So I will use this, making sure that I go on each layer to kind of combine the different layers a little. Again, having a little bit of variation in the sizes of the drops. And that's what I love about using the Nuvo drops compared to using like store-bought enamel dots, because they just come in like the pre-made sizes. And this way you can just make them the size you want, and that's what I really love. And maybe some green ones in addition. So, gonna put this one aside to dry as well. So we have number 2 done. Oops. And now let's move on to number 3. So I have my card here, I have a cute little elf, and then I made this background. I'm not really sure. I love both actually. Those are the ones that I made earlier. Just die cut a little bit of it. I die cut this piece here, and what I really love actually is using this bold one, maybe, and layering this 3-dimensional I think I like this best. So what I will do first is I will add some teeny tiny splatters here. Just about like that. So I will glue this to the card first. Let me just I think this way around to the card base. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of glitter here before I apply the second layer. Not using a stencil, just like scraping it on. Just to have a little bit of this glitter effect going on here in the background. Okay, so now that this is dry, I'm just gonna adhere this part to the card with some 3D foam stickies. I don't know the word. Foam adhesive thingies. Like this. So this gives you a really nice like depth and dimension, and this really fun shadow box effect here, which I really love. So we kind of have the base here, and now let's see, a cute little elf girl. What else do I want on here? Let's see. Then maybe some of those glitter snowflakes here. I think I kind of want this sentiment on here. Let's see. And I think I kind of want to layer this on a little piece of the book page here. And then I'm gonna add my cute little elf here. Again, using 3D foam adhesive, just because with cards I really love to have like lots of dimension. Just about like that, I think. Yeah, cute. I love it. So last but not least, just some Nouveau drops, and I think I will go with the clear drying translucent ones, because I don't want to add like another color or more color, just a little bit of this like dimensional. So gonna let it dry, and then we've got all 3 cards finished. Let me just grab the other ones real quick. So here we are. Just need to make sure that I don't mess them up, because like those tiny drops, they're still wet on here. So we got the first one, a cute little winter girl, which I love. I love the color combination and those cute tiny dimensional snowflakes on here. Number 1, then we've got number 2, the little Santa girl with those cute Christmas trees on here. And then number 3, we've got the little Christmas elf. Sure, being on the nice list gets you more presents, but being naughty is its own reward. Yeah! coolest elf in Santa's workshop. Okay, so 3 cards done with those little whimsical playful girls. Again, you can grab the stamp set in my shop if you like. If you like or would like to play with them and create your own cute little whimsical Christmas girls. And yeah, again, if you haven't done so yet, check out part number one of this video, where I show you how to use the stamps and how to color the cute little girls' faces and how to add the hair, how to personalize them. So yeah, then you should be good to go, and I hope this inspired you. Yeah guys, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed watching me create and enjoyed the process. Hope it inspired you to incorporate some of the techniques into some of your cards, no matter if you're using my stamp set, the Build a Christmas Girl stamp set, or any other type of stamps, because that's what I kind of love about videos and sharing techniques and sharing projects in general, that you can just maybe nitpick and grab some of the techniques, some of the things you saw, and just incorporate it into your own work in as one way or another. So yeah, hope you like it, hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed watching me create this, and if you like the projects, please give it a thumbs up, because that always helps if you are a YouTube creator. So thumbs up is always like very appreciated. I'm also very super happy and grateful about each and every comment that I receive for my videos, so feel free to say hi. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so to stay in the loop. Just push that little subscribe button somewhere down there and that little bell to receive a notification to once I upload new content, to stay in the loop and to receive any updates and news. And other than that, wishing you a wonderful November, guys. Can you believe it? The October went by so fast. I can't believe it. It's November already. So we're heading into the Christmas direction. Ooh. And I have some fun things planned with my artsy advent calendar. If you know me, if you know my channel, you know that I think for 3 or 4 years now, I'm not even sure about that. I've been doing an artsy advent calendar in one way or another, creating a little piece of art in a journal or on something else in a different style, from December 1st up to December 24th. That's the way the European or German advent calendar works, starting December 1st up to December 24th, and you will just open a little door each day, and yeah, I will just create something and share something each day. So I can't wait to get started with that, and I think I'll be super busy with that during the month of November, preparing everything, because I will put a slight twist on it to it this year, but expect something to come. So okay, thank you so much for watching. I will stop now, keep it short. Bye folks.